Well, you came back for more. Welcome to today's episode. In this video, we're getting back into building a strong routine, a strong morning routine, a pre-run routine, just getting back into the swing of things. And we're going to be talking a lot about habits that successful runners have. If this is a week for you in which you feel like you need some extra encouragement, some extra motivation, I think you're going to love today's video. The reason I say building a strong routine and like getting back into the swing of things is because I was sick like all of last week and I was supposed to do 41 miles. My coach sent me the plan and I'm like, 41 miles, let's do this. That'd be my first week in the 40s ever. And this is my fourth marathon. It's taken me this long to like understand the importance of weekly mileage. So I'm like, 41 miles, I gotcha. I woke up after my long run and man, I just felt like the worst. I feel like I swallowed like 17 knives in my throat and I was like, oh, this is not good. I drank a bunch of water and I actually started feeling better. I'm like, oh, maybe I was just dehydrated. And then I wake up the next day and it's just full blown, just, I don't even know. Okay. And it doesn't matter. Sinus infection, head cold, throbbing headaches, sore throat, cough. I was just coughing up, just silly putty. That is so gross. Anyway, not that you need to know that, but we missed a lot of training that week. Somehow, some way, I got 20 miles in, but that was only in like a span of 2 days. So I did a long run. I did like a 6-mile run. That's all I could do. We missed 4 days of training that week. The problem is, by the time you're watching this video, it's probably race week for the Toledo Garmin half marathon. So internally, I'm freaking out a little bit. Here come some old ladies walking. I gotta let them walk by. I feel weird. We want to get back to a strong routine as quickly as possible. And I feel like I just need to make the most out of these next 10 days and make sure we just go into this race feeling the best we can. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. I wanted to talk about some successful habits that runners have. One of those that I was going to talk about was just having a routine. Now, a routine doesn't mean you have to do the same exact thing every day, but I think you just need to have like a logical sequence of events that take place to get you to wherever you need to be. So for this weekend, obviously things are going to look a little different each day. Today, I don't work and I'm doing a really intense speed workout. And then Friday, it's a short run. And then Saturday, it's going to be a 17-mile long run. And then Sunday, it's a very short recovery run. So each of those mornings are going to look different. How I wake up and fuel is going to be different on my long run than it is a speed run like today. We pretty much just made coffee, had some applesauce. I got one of these maple syrup things I'll probably take before. That's going to be it. And it's going to look different for the long run. So I just want to get back into that. And the main reason I feel like I need to is because when I was sick, I went from waking up at 5 to 5:30 in the morning to sleeping until like 7:15 every day for a week. So I got up this morning at 5:50 and it felt impossible. I didn't roll out of bed till probably 6:10. It took me 20 minutes to get out of bed. And that kind of frustrated me because I've become such a morning person with running. And I've realized that being sick, like I've just changed a lot of my routines and I want to get back into strong routines here. The last thing I want to say before we get out for today's workout, I've been sick, so I've been spending a lot of time on my phone scrolling and just like watching other people train. Hustle culture is real. Everybody's grinding, everybody's training, no days off, never rest, never recover. Just go for it nonstop. We'll rest when we're dead. We'll rest when we can't work out anymore. And I just spending some time over consuming stuff like that. I feel like I couldn't disagree more. One of my biggest pieces of advice to you before we get on this run here, I know I'm ranting. One of the best things you can do is rest. A lot of these workout programs have a taper built into it to let your body feel its best before you run. So just understand, like, if you're caught up in hustle culture, or if you're like me, you took a week off because you were sick and you feel like you're starting over, you're not. I'm probably going to feel, that probably was the best thing for me, was just taking a little bit of time off. So I can't emphasize the importance of rest enough for your body, for your mind. I feel really good going into this weekend. And I think it's because I had some time off and I didn't want it, but I feel like it was the best week to have it. Better to be sick 2 weeks before the race than during race week or something like that. So I think we got it out of the system, and a little bit of rest never hurt anybody. It's always refreshing. So my coach is having me do something I've never heard of before. They're called surges, which is basically You know, there's a big difference between a 6:20 mile and a 9-minute mile. So what that's doing is the last 800 meters or the last half mile, when you're going easy, you start picking it up. You do short increments of getting faster, surging, if you will, and you slowly get faster until you get closer to that 6:20. That way, when you hit mile 3 and it's time to go faster, you're already up to pace, versus like your watch beeps mile 3, you're at 9 minutes and now you have to like sprint to get up to 6:20. I think that basically prevents your first couple reps from being slow, because obviously the second you hit 3 miles, you'll start running, but you're gonna spend 30 seconds getting up to speed maybe. And the surges just allow you to start the rep at proper speed, which I think is genius. So I've never heard of that before. But these last 800 meters, that's what we're gonna start doing. We're gonna start picking up the pace a little bit. Surging, if you will. All right, rep number 1 complete. It was 6:22 for that first, so close. I find it really difficult to hold that pace. It's not to hold that pace, to get that pace spot on. Like, I was going 5:50 for a little bit, and then I was going 6:40, so definitely not a natural, comfortable pace for me, but 6:22 is right there. We got a short little recovery here, and let's do a couple more reps of that. All right, first one was 6:23, second one was 6:22, so about a second better. Again, I just can't adjust to that pace. Like, I'm always going way too fast, or when I slow down, it seems like I'm holding like a 6:15, so I slow a little bit, but I'm trying to get right on the dot and I just can't do it for whatever reason. But I'm not gonna be mad about 2 seconds. Okay, that one we messed up a little bit. I did 0.58, not 0.62. The meters to miles thing is so annoying. I did mental math wrong, so I stopped my watch and clocked it, and then I reclocked the timer function. I did like 0.04, clocked it, so it's gonna make my Chorus data look a little bit off, but right around that 6:20 mark, give or take 2 or 3 seconds. All right, we got a 2-minute recovery, and then we have 4 times at a half mile. That'll be easier math for me. And then 90-second jog walk recoveries instead of 2 minutes. So gonna pick up a little bit faster here. Feeling pretty good. Those paces are fun to hold. Like, I just keep visualizing the half marathon, and that gets me really excited. I think visualization is a really strong tool any athlete should use. I know football players, basketball players, all those big name athletes, they use that method as well. Of like, when they're shooting free throws, they're thinking like, no, this is game on the line. They're picturing the big prize, so when they get to that moment, like, the moment's not too big. And that's what I keep doing for these speed runs and long runs. Visualization. It sounds kind of corny, but I think you get what I'm saying. All right, back up to speed here. $6:15 on the dot for that one. 2 more to go. $6:18 for that one. 1 more to go. Let's roll into this last one here. Let's start this up. All right. So we get the most out of this workout here. Let's go. All right, just finished the last one. 6:11 for that. Right where we want to be. We got a cool down mile. It left me off at 6.9 miles. So I'm gonna have 1.1 for the cool down. Not a big deal. But I'm a little sweaty, can you tell? Maybe you can't actually with this camera, but all right. 1 mile for cool down, and that will finish up today's 8-mile workout. All right, we just finished right back where we started. 8 miles done, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 7 minutes, 49 seconds average pace. Feels good to be done. One thing I wanted to say, since we're talking about habits of successful runners, we talked about having a strong routine. And I think another one of those habits, I call it watching tape, because it's football season and like people sit down and watch tape. What I mean by that is looking at your data. When you track your runs, look at what you did and then learn from that. Obviously we have 2 $300 watches, Strava subscriptions, you have all these things. But when you do these runs, I think it's good to sit down and look at that and see what you did well, what you would have changed, if anything. So I want to do that. I want to sit down and look at some of that and learn from this run as we kind of go throughout this weekend. So I think tracking your stats, just seeing how you're doing, is really important. You don't have to stress about them, but it's good to look at. So I'm pretty sweaty. So let's get out of here. Let's go do that. Let's get home and kind of go over some of the data from today's run. Okay, I literally just got out the eggs, the bagel. Oh, I shaved my beard, by the way. What do you think? Honestly, look at me. Not too bad. I'm going for the more stubble look. I just washed my hair, so I let it like air dry and then I'll style it. So this isn't my go-to look, but I don't know. I'm kind of liking the stubble. Anyway, I was just going to say I got out for breakfast. I got out the eggs. Oh, indeed. So anyway, for breakfast, I got out the eggs. I got out a bagel, and I'm like, man, bagels aren't that healthy. I don't want to make a habit out of those. And I was just sick last week, so let's not do that. And then I had the eggs out. I'm like, oh, just hot eggs in my stomach don't sound good right now. So I just cut up this entire pineapple right here. And I was like, well, fruit sounds really good. So I think we're just going to go with a fruit smoothie right now. But I don't really have bananas. I do, but check it out. That's a pretty rough banana right there. Also, those gummy bears are there for a YouTube short where I'm like comparing gels versus gummy bears. So I'm not snacking on candy. I'm not that foolish. Got some frozen fruit and pineapple. We don't even have orange juice for like the blend. So I'm like, I only have milk. I don't know. Smoothie just seems way easier to eat than a bunch of other stuff. So we'll start with that first. And then we got to break down our run real quick. Oh, man. I just think this banana is going to be really sweet. Post-run smoothie is pretty good for carbs, obviously. But to enhance it, we're going to add a scoop of vanilla whey protein. Maybe another half scoop. And then a full scoop of collagen as well, grass-fed collagen. Look at this bad boy. I don't know if it's going to taste any good. I'm missing quite a few key ingredients, but we'll at least try it out. Yeah, it's good. Hello, I'm just laying down in my bed, working on my smoothie here. As promised, I wanted to cover a couple quick details from my run. Like I said earlier, I think it's important to look back at some of the stats and make sure you're doing some of the stuff right. Two things that I really pay attention to after almost all my runs. The first one is cadence, and I'll pop up a chart up here, kind of showing from top to bottom what a good cadence is versus a bad cadence, I guess. Obviously, it's easier to have a high cadence when you're running faster, but it's still good to practice. Our average cadence was 182, and that is in the range of high, which is perfect. To go in that red, the top up there, like above 185 is crazy to me. It's just so uncomfortable. It feels so unnatural for me to run like that. But we did really good for our cadence. And then the other thing I look at, obviously, is heart rate. My average heart rate for this run was 149, and then the max was 177. So I don't live and die by my heart rates because I don't think my watch is fully accurate. I don't think they ever can be perfect. And I don't really want to wear a heart rate monitor like on my chest because I feel like a dork. But I mean, that's super valuable. But you can kind of see the graph I'll put up here. Pretty steady until those spikes. And you can kind of see the green surges when I start going a little faster. And into the yellow and orange is all those workouts we did. 7 of those repeats. So pretty good overall. We had a pretty good run. I think the weather really helped. It was in the 50s the entire run till the end. Looking at our Strava graph real quick, that puts us to 19 miles on the week. Obviously, we have a 17-mile long run coming up, and then we have a Friday, Sunday easy recovery run. So we'll get to those a little bit later, but not perfect. I still think I end up running too fast sometimes, and then I adjust too slowly, and that's why I think those weren't on the dot 620s and 615s. But I don't think it needs to be perfect either. Like, as long as you're roughly averaging out to be what you need, I think that's going to be close enough. So I think it's good to look at those every once in a while. All right, it's Friday morning and I'm looking like this. It's obviously not ideal. I had to get up way earlier than I thought just because my wife is leaving this weekend for a trip. She left today and she'll be gone Saturday, coming home Sunday. But she was up at like 5 and I could see lights were on and she was getting her luggage around. So I tried to go back to bed, but then I ended up just waking up anyway because she lost her keys. So I was like trying to help her find them, and then they were just like right on the kitchen counter. So because of that, I was so tired. I'm like, I'm just going to go back to sleep. And I was like, no, I was just talking to you guys about like rebuilding a strong routine, and that includes getting up early and getting out to run early. Obviously, the half marathon and the full marathon in November, when that comes up, those are races that start in the morning early. So getting up early is kind of just a staple. So to sleep in this morning and then go do a full day of work and then run at 6 p.m., I'm like, it's just not what I need to do. So it was really hard to get up this morning. So let's just keep things simple here. It's 5:55. Let's start off with coffee first, obviously. For our pre-run fuel, I'm gonna get, obviously this black coffee here. I speed rinsed a very quick half cup of raspberries. One of these Go-Go Squeeze pouches, apple cinnamon, Lilo and Stitch edition. Oh, just Stitch edition, sorry, no Lilo. I'm gonna have a little bit of orange juice here. We're looking at, again, around 60 to 70 grams of carbs, and then just the coffee. So that will be my pre-run. After I eat all this, we can open a brand new package. It may or may not be new running shoes. Spoiler alert. All right, we just got to the park here. It's a little after 7. I have to get ready for work at 8 o'clock, so I don't have a lot of time, but I have enough time to get a 4-mile run completed here. So I want to show you my brand new shoes that I got. Now, believe it or not, I got these shoes like a week ago, but I haven't even worn them yet because I was like, well, I'm going to wait till I can film them so I can take a picture of them and film them while they look really clean. And then I got sick last week, so I've had these shoes for over a week and haven't touched them. These are supposed to be some daily trainers for me. Let's open them. So this is what we got, the New Balance Rebels V5. So I have the Fresh Foam 1080s with about 350 miles on them, and they're feeling pretty flat. So I decided to get one of these pairs. I've heard really good things about these. I wore the Adidas shoes yesterday for the fast run, and I liked how lightweight they were. These are just as lightweight. I think this is like by maybe 1 or 2 ounces different, but almost identical in weight. So they're very lightweight shoes. They have a pretty, you can probably see on there's a pretty squishy foam on these shoes. Like you can definitely press in there quite a bit. So they're a little more plush. I don't have a ton of time, so let's get these bad boys laced up and let's get our run going here. Shoes are laced up here. We're gonna get started 4 miles easy today. I like these colors a lot. It's nice when you have some daily trainers you can use most days of the week that aren't so heavy. They don't feel like blocks on your feet. And so far these feel really lightweight and they have some nice squish to them. Squish is a weird word, but they do. That's how I would describe them the best. So I'll kind of give my opinion of these, but yeah, let's knock this 4 mile run out. Nice and easy here. To run right into the fog. All right, we're off-roading just a little bit. The grass is definitely a little bit nicer on the joints sometimes, which when I'm dealing with shin splints, it's really nice to have. I've never really solved the shin splints issue, but I'm also not loving the fact that I'm taking a brand new pair of shoes out in the wet grass in the morning, which is just not that big of a deal, but I try and like protect my stuff so much. My cameras, my shoes, like I don't want to ruin them, but they're meant to be used. So it's like, just freaking use them, dude. Dude, I'm literally so mad. Look. They're so dirty already. That's so frustrating. It's almost like shoes were meant to be worn or something. Don't make fun of me, but we have to cut this workout short. We have to stop at 3 miles because I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta go home and get ready for work. I may have taken just a little bit too much time taking photos and videos of my new shoes. So, the creative conundrum. It was such that I should be doing work, but I'd rather goof around with my camera. So, we're gonna have to cut this workout 1 mile short. Not a big deal. We'll only hit 39 by the end of tomorrow's huge 17-mile workout. And then Sunday we'll probably go out for 2 or 3 easy just to make sure we break 40. So kind of solidifies that I have to go out on Sunday, but it's not a big deal. All right, it's Friday, lunchtime. We just got done with our first shift of the day. Not that bad at work. I actually had a couple cancellations, so the last 45 minutes there were no patients. I just got to like catch up on paperwork. So not too bad of a morning. It's lunchtime. I came home and for 30 minutes I did everything I didn't want to do. Cleaned the litter box, made the bed, put clothes away, ran the trash out, cleaned up just a little bit. All the stuff I don't want to do, because the second half of the day is very busy. A lot of people coming in, a lot of overbookings and stuff like that. It's gonna be a little hectic, but that's okay. We can do it. If we can run a marathon, we can do anything. That's what I tell myself, at least. For lunch here, here's the final product. Dylan tomorrow, running 17 miles, will be thankful of Dylan today with this amount of carbs right here, 89 grams. All right, good morning. It's Saturday morning today. It's just about 6 a.m. and we're about to take off for a 17-mile long run. Let's do it. So we're changing things up just a little bit today. I decided to get up at 5 a.m. and drive an hour to a park that's got a lot more space, a lot more trails to run on. The place we run at by my house is just not capable for these longer runs. So we decided to come out here to the park. It took us about an hour to get here, so we had to get up early, but it's really pretty out here this morning. It's about 54 degrees. Perfect weather for a 17-mile long run. Got to get our gear set up here, kind of get ready to roll. And we got 17 big ones today. Coach is having us do some race pace effort, so it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some tough parts to this run. 17 miles is long enough, but then running at race pace, at marathon pace, which is about 7:25 for a huge chunk of that is obviously going to be really difficult. So it's going to be a challenge. So for this workout, we're gonna start off with 5 miles easy before we get into any race pace. So 5 miles of warm up, that's all I'm focused on right now. And we definitely need to warm up because it's about 55 right now. I'm in tank top and short shorts, so I'm feeling it. To make sure that we stay hydrated during this run, in this vest right here, I have a 13-ounce water bottle with about 1,000 milligrams of sodium. We put our electrolytes in here, and then I can kind of store this in here. Early on, it's kind of heavy, bounces around a little bit, but obviously the more of that we drink, the lighter it gets. When I run out of water here, I will probably just take the vest off, drop it off in the car, grab a handheld water bottle, and that'll make things a lot lighter. That handheld water bottle also holds a gel. So we got zip up pockets for gels. We have gels in here right now. And then the water bottle has 1 or 2 in there. So I want to make sure we stay hydrated. Even though it's cooler out, we still want to stay on top of that pretty early. We're looking for around 1,000 milligrams per hour. I think that's a really good number for me. All right, we just hit mile 3. We're just about 30 minutes in, and the first gel I'm gonna take is the BPN mango gel. That just sounded the best of all the kinds we brought. We kind of packed a variety. So we're starting off with that gel, 30 minutes in. Again, every 30 to 40 minutes, just staying ahead of my fueling so I don't get behind and start to feel like I'm gonna bonk or something. The cooler weather's really helping too, because my heart rate is at 132. So this is truly easy miles, just under 10-minute paces. And then when we hit mile 5, we'll pick it up here. Next gel, we'll take it about mile 6, mile 7. I'm gonna ditch this. It's just moving around too much. Like I've said in past videos, I think the handheld water bottle is way better than these. Plus, my shorts have zipper pockets on each side, so I don't feel like I need that much storage. We just finished 2 race pace miles, 7:19 each. So that's where we're at. I feel much better moving to the handheld water bottle. I don't know, I'm just not a vest guy. It's helpful to carry a lot of stuff, but I'm also not gonna race the half marathon or the marathon with a vest. So to practice with it just feels weird. I don't know, it slowed me down, but we're out of that phase now, we're good. We also grabbed some G1M Sport. I grabbed a chug of that. We got the orange flavor, which I don't know, still tastes very artificial. I know they got rid of artificial flavors, but the natural flavors they use taste a little chalky. So anyway, that's got sodium carbs. I decided to try that and just experiment with it. But our water bottle we have here is still sports drink. We're using the sports drink for our electrolytes. And the one thing I like about that as well is the sodium bicarb, which can help buffer lactic acid, help you to push for a little bit longer when you're hurting, which we're gonna have to do pretty soon. We got 2 more miles easy, and then we got 2 more race pace coming up. Mile 8 is where we're at right now. All right, we just finished 2 more race pace miles. Just hit mile 11, and we're taking our next mixed berry gel. And we got a little bit of easy paces here, and then we'll get back to it. Definitely getting tired, but not food-wise, just like my leg muscles are tired, but obviously that's to be expected. So I'm pretty happy with how I'm feeling. Let's lock in and keep going here. Just hit mile 15. We're starting our last 2 race pace miles. Really starting to hurt now. My right calf got 1 shin splint. It feels like a golf ball under my shin, but I'm gonna keep pushing here. Almost done. So close. 15.75. I have to take a 30-second break here. I really want to stay consistent these paces. I'm tired enough that I could just slow down, like go back to an easy pace, but even if it takes me 30 seconds to get my breath, I still want to push this last mile and a quarter at that pace. I got that cramp right here, right under the old right bosom, my right bosom. Should I catch my breath? Heart rate's not as bad as I would think. It's like 164. That's doable. All right, come on. Let's keep pushing here. Half mile to go here, let's push. How you doing? Last quarter mile, let's push here. Finish strong. Got to visualize this is the end of the half marathon and the marathon running. Maybe having to catch up some time. Green Day's blaring. It's 60 degrees. 30 seconds from being done. No better feeling. Just finished here, 17 miles. Imagine being so sweaty and gross that you have to put a towel on your seat just so you don't make your cloth seats stink. That's where I'm at with running. Just got home from an hour road trip here. I need immediate food. So we're starting off with a bagel just to get something in my stomach so I can go get in the shower. Believe it or not, I don't smell that good. So we should probably rinse off and get cleaned up and get some comfy clothes on and get off my feet. I've been already thinking this whole ride home about what I want for food. A couple options I could do Olive Garden. They have a great carry out, right? You can just drive up, they bring it to the parking lot, or they bring it to your car, and then I could get like the 5-cheese ziti, which is the best pasta there. Breadsticks, that'd be a great option. I could also do Bellacino's or East of Chicago, my two favorite pizza places here. Not really big into Domino's or Papa John's or Pizza Hut, so it'd be like two more local places that I really like. I was thinking like Five Guys, but I don't know if there's gonna be enough carbs in there. I don't know if that sounds good. So I don't know. I'm gonna get one quick snack in real quick before we make a decision. But I want to shower, sit down, watch some Michigan college football, and yeah, collect my thoughts, and we'll kind of go over the run when I kind of show you what we decided for our post-run meal.
Hi.
Hello.
Here is your quick mention with
Thank you.
your straw.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. I knew something wasn't right. I hadn't had my post long run tropical smoothie. If you guys watch any of my videos, you know that's kind of a thing. You run more than 12 miles, you should probably deserve some type of a smoothie. So about 25 grams of protein, a lot of carbs. If you want to know the exact amount, I'm not joking because I looked it up on their website, 116 grams of carbohydrates. Is that crazy or what? Just getting that smoothie re-energized me, if you can't already tell. Ladies and gentlemen, another habit I wanted to talk about of very successful runners, they take their recovery really seriously. Now, recovery can be so many different things. It can be things like contrast therapy, hot tub or sauna, ice bath, things like that. It can also be dietary, high protein, anti-inflammatory foods, things like that. And it can also be rehab focused. So there's a couple things that I'm going to do to try and help. First of all, for me, I've been dealing with shin splints for quite a while, and I have it right in this spot here. Like I could circle that with a Sharpie, right, I'm flexing my calf to show off, right underneath the calf, right there. I mean, just underneath that bump. I got this thing. For those of you that don't know, I'm a chiropractor, so I have access at the office I work at to some tools and some things. This compression sleeve has made a huge difference. The second I put it on, it just feels better. Now I only leave it on for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but I've been using this mainly on the right leg here. And it's a little bit more fitted at the bottom here, but I'll pull that right here so that there's this bottom piece is covering where I'm feeling that shin splint. That's been helping, wearing that around a little bit. So that's one thing that I've been doing is kind of alternating legs, but it's the right one that needs it more, and it really helps with just getting blood flow to stuff. And it really helps to just get blood flow to the area to let that start to heal a little bit faster. And then also something I feel like is very easy and very helpful because my muscles hurt so bad, using a massage gun. I got this as a part of like my second kind of YouTube brand deal where they send you an item and then you have to make a video and all these things. So kind of exciting, yeah. I just want to let you know I turned down 4 or 5 different things because I felt like it didn't fit the channel. It didn't benefit you guys at all. And although they were cool items, I'm like, no, I can't just say yes to everything for random items. Like I want it to propel my channel forward. And if I have to say no to a couple things, I think it's worth it. This is one of those things I said yes to though. This little massage gun here, I just put on that setting, and I usually work on my IT band and around my calves. That's been helping a ton because it doesn't hurt as bad as the foam roller does. Ice right on the shins. Obviously I have this thing on right here, but when this comes off, I'll start it right here on the bottom for a couple minutes, and then I'll rotate it up, and we do both legs with that, and then very light stretching. Just simple stretching for 15 to 20 second holds, mainly calves, hamstrings, quads, and then my tibialis muscle, which I'm doing. I don't even know what this is called, but where people basically keep their toes back and they lean back like this. Oh, little pop out of my ankle joint there. But I'll lean back, 10 seconds or so, take the pressure off, let it relax. Back to that for a little bit. That's just one of those things that I've been doing to help with recovery. So it's very easy after long runs to just get home, get some junk food, and then jump in bed and just like chill for the rest of the day. But I do think it's really beneficial to move the muscles just a little bit. You don't have to go walk, but just, ice with inflammation, massage gun some of those areas, light stretching. I always feel so much better when I work on that. And we're supposed to do a really short recovery run Sunday morning before church. So I don't want my legs to just lock up all day. So if there's something I can do to drive some element of recovery and healing, I'm going to do those things. So those have really, really helped me. All right, we didn't really get a chance to break down our run earlier today. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. The most important things are obviously that we got the 17 miles done, and we did everything that coach wanted me to as far as easy miles, race pace. We hit all those numbers pretty much on the dot, which is good. I felt good overall. Like I said, got this bad boy going on because that shin splint right there, that's driving me nuts a little bit, but I'm not like worried. It's not any worse than it has been in the past. So here's what we got going on here. A couple things that might matter to just review. Heart rate. My max heart rate was 170. We hit that near the end. My average heart rate was 148, which I think is really good overall. My cadence averaged 179, so almost in the 180s again, which is great. For tonight, to finish off the night, we got some electrolytes here. Still using my massage gun quite a bit today. I was at my parents' house for a little bit, so I started to run out of time for dinner. I visited them for a little bit, so I did end up getting Papa John's because it's a buy one, get one free for large. So Florida's about to run that in for a touchdown. I don't care about this game, but it's fun to watch football. We got a New York style pepperoni and then a sausage underneath that. So I will not eat all of that. I'm just going to enjoy some of it, save some leftovers for Sylvia when she comes home tomorrow. And then, that'll wrap up tonight. I'm going to bed in probably less than an hour. So we got one more run tomorrow. Believe it or not, we'll wrap things up tomorrow. I got an easy recovery run. Not easy run. I should say easy run is like 9:30. Recovery is as slow as possible that you could still consider running, is what my coach said. So it's going to be pretty freaking slow. So that's what we'll do for tomorrow. And we'll probably go back to the Rebels, the New Balance Rebels. I want to try those one more time. So yeah. Okay. Hey, I'll see you later. Hey, I'm going to bed and you're not coming with me. All right. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, and this means this is our last chance this week to get some, say it with me now, miles. That's right. Very good. I know my coach really wants me to bust 40. He wants me to drop a 40 piece. I'm not talking nuggets. I'm talking miles. Very good. You guys are catching on quick. Now, a couple things. I got to go to church this morning, and I am feeling like I got ran over by like a semi truck full of just freight, in general freight. Okay, not an empty trailer. This is a freight trailer. So I'm feeling demolished this morning. My legs are pretty sore. I'm just tired. That's the best way. Like, I don't know. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. I just stand there. I'm like, all right, what was I going to do? Check the weather to see what I should wear today. And then I'm like, on Instagram, I just can't get my brain to lock the frick in. So this week is the start of race week, which is crazy to think. So it's going to be fast half marathon. I've been thinking about that for a couple days, a little more in depth. But anyway, I got to get rolling here to church, and after that, we will come back and probably just try and get this run done. So when I come home, shower, change, we're done with running stuff for the day. And then Sylvia will be back from her trip. And then we can kind of break down a couple thoughts I have here. So let's go. You may recognize this location, but we don't need to talk about it. Okay? It's been a long week. I'm sorry, okay? I have a problem, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a good week of getting myself back into a routine after being sick for a whole week. And now we're entering race week. Feeling pretty good. I need some rest for the rest of today. I need to get some ice. I need to massage, stretch just a little bit, and I need like 8 hours of sleep. Once we get into training next week, we're just like pushing. Every run we do, I'm thinking about that half marathon with the goal of going sub 130, which is going to be absolutely wild if I could do that. I think my PR is like 144. So yeah, this is going to be really tough. I know it is, but I'm up for the challenge, and that's exactly why I selected this goal, because I know it's going to force me to push myself. It's going to force me to take all these workouts really seriously. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for kind of an entire weekend of getting into this routine, getting back in the swing of things, and focusing on successful habits that a lot of runners need. We talked about some of them. The last one I want to leave you with is successful runners have mental resilience. And I love the word resilience because it literally, like, I think a good synonym for it would be stubbornness. Like, they're stubborn, they're not willing to let things get in their way. And even though I didn't feel super motivated to go out there and run, we were disciplined enough, we were stubborn enough to get out there and break 40 miles. So I know that's what my coach wanted me to do. So we got over 40, and yeah, that takes some mental resilience, especially when you're tired. So I hope you guys got something from kind of what I've been going through and what I've been sharing with you. If you guys like this video, there's a button you can click to show me that you like the video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are up to and how your training's going. So it's race week. We'll see you guys very, very soon for another video.